Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here today. Can you all hear me okay? I'm not shouting at you. As Leanne said, my name is Aine Mangan. I have met some of you before, but there's a lot of new faces as well. She's giving my age away there. I've been working in the golf industry and the hotel industry for a number of years, abroad mostly, and now I'm back home since the Ryder Cup 2006. I've been a member of IAGTO from my early days and also represented them since 2009. I'm the Irish representative. IAGTO has representatives all over the world, and thankfully I'm here in Ireland and work with a lot of members here as a support, but also promoting Ireland abroad too. I'm here all day, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you have or support you in any way you need, and we're also sharing all the slides with you as well. So IAGTO has over 2,000, almost 3,000 member companies in 105 countries around the world. 702 are international golf tour operators. 900 are golf facilities, so golf courses, and 763 are hotels. We also have 442 golf resorts. 396 are inbound operators, and we also have 47 transport companies as well. As tourist boards, I better not forget that, 187 tourist boards and business partners too. Just bringing it back here to Northern Ireland, we'd love to have more members from here, but currently we have Lough Erne, who are here today, so Barry somewhere. We've Roe Park as well, Terry we deal with there. We've got a number of golf clubs, including Ardglass, Galgorm Castle, Ballycastle, Castle Rock, Malone, Royal County Down and Royal Belfast. Some hotels we have are Galgorm Resort and Spa, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Portrush Atlantic, Slieve Donard Resort and Spa, the Bushmill Inns and the Merchant Hotel. And then we have others as well, such as DMC's, Northern Ireland Golf Tours, Tom, who does representation, Brian Summers, who mainly does outbound, and then chauffeur car services as well. And Tourism NI and Newry Mourne and Down are also members. Again, all these resorts, clubs, hotels, they are actively trying to work with more golf operators internationally, and hence the reason they became members, as well as using supports that we have in IAGTO. And I'll go through some of those just to refresh and inform everybody what they are. So, as I said, we have 702 golf tour operators in 64 countries. That controls 87% of the global market and generates 2.5 billion annual sales. So you can see the economies of scale there. So golf tour operators are a key part of everybody's business, but I know from being in business myself and also self-employed is trying to balance it all too. So we'll just go through that a little later as well. Operators selling Ireland, Northern Ireland, are 350, so 50% of golf tour operators in 48 countries sell golf vacations to Ireland, and 153 of those in 33 countries sell golf vacations to Northern Ireland. So just to give you a little bit of a sense, very briefly, of the state of the market with general tour operators, golf tour operators. So there's been 6 years of strong consecutive growth. So you can see from 2012, we had 9.3. So 2018 will be the 7th year of growth globally in golf tour operator sales since the global economic crisis. The annual growth in golf tour operator sales has regularly been more than double that of general leisure tourism. The World Tourism Organization quotes global leisure tourists to have grown by an average of 4% in the past 5 years. And that stats available. So just to reiterate that, 5 to 7% growth per year. So just to look there at the tour operators to maintain the share of market. So tour operators represent 52% and direct 48%. So Northern Ireland supplier sales and golf visitor arrivals, just to talk about that. The latest findings of the Golf Tourism Survey for Q3, Northern Ireland continues to punch above its weight with 6% up in golf visitor arrivals, with forward bookings up 7.8%. So again, we'll share all these figures with you so you have them for your clubs and committees as well. And I suppose it's all about balancing visitor, local and member revenue. A lot of the time, tour operator business is new to some clubs, and why do we give them a better rate and why do we give them a net rate? Well, I'm not going to work for free, as I'm sure you wouldn't yourselves. We'll just go through the different type of visitors now. So we've local play, domestic and international. So I just separated out just into 3 groups really, and looking at the local play, so basically, which is your bread and butter business. So your domestic tourist, again, is looking for a good deal, group business spends as well. But the international tourist is where the most revenue comes in. So the value of international visitors, tourists, they usually pay good green fee rates. It's guaranteed revenue regardless of weather. It's advanced bookings, so you know your business coming in. It's high spend in restaurants and pro shop generally, and you don't have to advertise to get them. You've got the tour operator working for you to get them here. Members are not aware of, generally, are not aware of the promotion. So while you give a reduced rate to the tour operators to sell your facility or your golf club, that's packaged up, so it's not going direct into the market. And I suppose for me, during the recessionary times when people were just trying to cut everything and get any business in, I never was as busy as a ground handler or operator coming in, because people didn't want to release rates direct to the public, because then it's very hard to grow your rate again, and also devaluing your product. So they used operators a lot then to try and package it up and promote it out. Who is in control? Obviously you are, so you can turn the tap on and off when you want that business. So yes, it will be a reduced rate rather than your rack rate. However, you can control it, and it's advanced booking. So it's lovely to look now when a lot of the bookings are already in for next year, knowing what you have on the books and then what you need to top up. I suppose you all know this, it's just a reminder, working with tour operators, why there is a need for net rates. So I suppose what I would advise from my own self and working with them for many years is to embrace tour operators. They need to make money from selling your product too. They're not going to do it for free. We'll all place adverts in lots of different publications, and they'll cost £1,000 up to £2,000. And it's very hard to measure those, whereas with tour operators, you can measure it. Look at tour operators as your international sales force. So they're your salesperson out on the ground. And we all know if you have a good experience somewhere, you'll talk about it and you'll push that more than somewhere else. So it's about building those relationships. And as Leanne said earlier, in getting the operators here, and including myself when I got to experience new product here in the north, what stands out is the welcome you get and the people you meet for different clubs. And obviously you have your trophy courses, but there's also other courses that I didn't know about previously, and the welcome we received made it stand out, and the course was a really good course as well. It may not be links, but they were a great Parkland experience. So I would say it doesn't take much, but just to build those relationships. I know from my own experience that's what works around the world. Incentivize your tour operator if you can with serious net rates. The price differential is your cost of sale, usually for your operator business. To be honest, I usually say 25% if you can, but that's with the clubs I've worked with around Dublin. And then we add on, if we can't reduce the rate much, we add on value-added things as well. So it may be a lunch, or it may be range bowls, or something like that. So I'm happy to give you some of my own suggestions from my own experience as well. I'll leave my details here. So if you don't get business from a tour operator, it doesn't cost you anything. So it really makes sense, unlike direct advertising, as I mentioned earlier. What are the other costs of tour operator business? 62% of tour operators do not need any other type of support except a net rate or commissionable rate. Only 12% of tour operators require additional support from suppliers to feature and promote your product. So if you want to come up first page or the first one, the more money basically they make out of you, the more they'll sell you. Generally, that's the way it works, I think, in business around the world anyway. So for 26% of tour operators, additional support from suppliers is considered optional. And as you know, Tourism Ireland and Fulch Ireland do support, with TNI, do support some of the online Your Golf Travels and Golf Breaks as well, and other tour operators internationally. Spend time, I would recommend, understanding how each tour operator market works and what is your market. There's no point trying to court a tour operator who only sells links golf, but there may be other operators that will feature parkland with links, so, you know, to get the local feel too. So, like, there's the list of them there. I know a lot of them now from all my years of working with them, but certainly we can help support you with that, and through TNI as well. Like any business, the earlier you publish your net rates, the more chance you have of getting the business in as soon as possible. So really, we would always say at least a year out, because a lot are doing even 2 years out. So the sooner you can do that, the better. To guarantee current net rates for forward bookings, if next year's net rates have not yet been published. So if you can do that, and I know with some committee-run clubs that's not always possible, but what a lot of people have done is they'll guarantee the current rates if there is a booking coming in next year and they haven't released the rates, they'll honour that. And again, it's about getting the business in. One of the things is to avoid undercutting tour operators by promoting offers at or close to net rates. A big thing for a while during the recession was a lot of clubs were releasing even lower rates than the net rates when they panicked. But the way to do it would have been to contact the operator and say, I'll give you an added value if you can fill this gap. So it's really been, like anybody, have integrity about your rates and being loyal to the operators who produce business or have supported you through good and bad times. As I said, a lot of the places I was representing at the time, we got a lot of business because I kept those relationships going even when we were really busy. So, you know, it stood by when things went a bit downwards. Customer service, like any business, customer service is just as important when working with tour operators as it is with direct clients. Speed and clarity of communications is first and foremost. I'm the worst at that myself, but I always really can stress, you know, when I'm doing bookings abroad or here in Ireland, or when the tour operators are trying to book, if it'll be who comes back to them first a lot of the time. They're not going to waste their time chasing. Unless perhaps it is 1 or 2 clubs, but otherwise they'll just move on to the next one. So I really, even if it's I'll come back to you or whatever, but just a response back to them is something they always mention. With IAGTO, just to give you some of the tools that we have there established and for 22 years, so you're welcome to use those as well. It's all about delivering the experience, the quality of the product and the quality of the service. We do online golf tourism audits, and there's a self-completion one. And we are going to be working with TNI in quality assurance on golf courses. But we have we're just starting to roll out this online golf tourism audit, which is free to our IAGTO members here. So it's really going through different categories, similar to what you had here previously, the service standards, but it's international. And it'll be available internationally. So a golf tour operator, if they see you have completed this, it's another quality mark as such. And we are going to look at customising that with TNI, where we visit and verify those clubs too. So guys, you're all the experts here, you know all of this, but accessibility to visitors, green fees, buggies, transportation, first-time visitor welcome, security, on-course facilities, speed of play, clubhouse signage. I mean, they're all things that most of you have, but I suppose it's just to keep remembering, looking at it with fresh eyes, so a golf visitor perspective. So we all can get quite parochial in our own little bubbles, and it's great even here today that you can all share information with each other. And as I said, we will be looking at a project going around to each of the clubs to assist as well. So it's the validation and communication there. we have all of this online, and I can share that with you too. You can upload, it's actually online, and you can ask questions as you're going through if there's any difficulty at all, and we answer it online real time. And then at the end, there's a certification that you can display, and that's what we're looking at customizing once we've verified it all face-to-face with TNI as well. So you can see it's visitor tracking for 12 months. It's understanding the visitor segmentation. So there's a great opportunity there. We're only rolling it out. So I know some of you have helped with the pilot. And really, it's an international standard. It includes plus more of what you did with the quality assurance. So other services we have are direct access to all IAGTO operators. Am I okay for time? Yeah, great. Direct access to all IAGTO operators. So you can just key in what country, a name if you know a name, but it'll come up. We've advanced searches as well. We special offer a net rate facility where you can upload your net rates and special offers, and the tour operators can go in on that. It's something we're always pushing from IAGTO because it just makes it quicker, and they'll go direct to the website rather than taking your time. We have a net rate library, and it's all very simple to use. Even I can manage it. And also we can help support you in that as well. So you can just upload your net rates for next year. It's done and dusted then. If an operator contacts you, just say go online. You'll see it all there as well, in a nice way, obviously. But so it shows that you're proactive in dealing with operators and organised with all your rates up there and ready to go. Then if you've a period that you need more business, you can always then release a special offer on that. So that's online contracting is available there. And I suppose there is a lot of knowledge from the 22 years of dealing with operators around the world, new operators coming up. So we're always there to assist you on that. We have a team in London. As I said, I'm here in Ireland. And we also provide a facility where you can upload your news and press releases. Again, the more you use this, the more familiar the tour operators and media will get with your name. So you're never going to get, or unless you're very lucky, but you know, it takes time to build these relationships. So even just to start off by sending what's happening at your club, so people go, I think I've heard that name before. So it's just basic stuff, but it all helps in the long run. And even myself seeing the clubs around here, and then you get familiar with the name and the place and the facility. So that's what it is with operators. Once they know, they're confident in selling it on. And that's why we've been doing a number of FAM trips and have a large one scheduled for next year as well. So again, it's about communication. Communicate with operators, put in your photos, upload what you have, videos as well. And again, we can help you with that if there's any challenges there. But it does work. We're still building it all the time, but and we have a lot of stuff up there on Northern Ireland already. And then we also have the International Golf Travel Writers Association. So again, all the publications are there. We deal with them too. So we can distribute your press releases. We've golf tourism surveys. So there's a whole host of tools there available for your use. And again, I'm here to help support you with TNI. And I won't take any more of your time, but I'm here all day and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have as well. Thank you very much for your time.